Right now, there is a thick, black, tar-like substance slowly building up inside your engine. You can't see it. You can't feel it. But if you ignore it long enough, it will choke your engine to death. It's called engine sludge, and it has destroyed over 3.3 million Toyota engines alone, triggered a massive class action lawsuit, and cost everyday car owners anywhere from $4,000 to $8,000 in repairs. In the worst cases, you are looking at a full engine replacement that can run you $6,000 to $15,000, depending on the vehicle. And here is the thing, most people do not even know they have it until their engine starts knocking. Their oil pressure light flickers on, and by then, it is already too late. But here is what is fascinating. In Japan, where some of the most reliable cars on the planet are made, they have essentially figured out how to prevent this problem before it ever starts. It is not one magic product. It is not a secret chemical. It is a system, a philosophy, a way of thinking about your car that most American and European drivers have completely ignored. Today, I'm going to break down exactly what the Japanese do differently, why their cars routinely hit 300,000 kilometers with engines that look factory clean inside, and how you can apply these same methods to your car right now before sludge turns your engine into an expensive paperweight. First, let's understand what we are dealing with. Engine sludge is what happens when your motor oil breaks down. As oil circulates through your engine, it is exposed to extreme heat, combustion gases, water vapor, fuel fragments, and acids. Over time, these contaminants cause the oil to oxidize. And here is a terrifying number for you. For every 18 degrees Fahrenheit increase in engine temperature, the rate of oil oxidation doubles. The byproducts of this chemical reaction form organic acids and heavy polymeric compounds that keep reacting with each other until they create this thick, gelatinous goop that bakes onto your engine's internal surfaces. Once it starts building up, it blocks oil passages, clogs your oil pickup screen, starves critical components of lubrication, and causes catastrophic failure. In engines with variable valve timing, which is basically every modern car now, sludge is even more devastating. Those VVT systems rely on precise oil pressure to operate solenoids and actuators. When sludge clogs those tiny passages, your engine timing goes haywire, performance tanks, and you are facing repair bills that make you question every financial decision you have ever made. A mechanic in the United States recently documented a 2018 Ford Edge with a 2.0-liter engine and 114,000 miles. The owner followed the factory recommended 7,500-mile oil change intervals. They had receipts, records, everything. And when the mechanic popped the valve cover, the engine was caked in sludge. Thick deposits all over the camshafts, the VVT actuators, everywhere. Factory intervals were not enough. And this is the core of the problem that the Japanese figured out decades ago. So what do they do differently? Let's start with the big one. Method 1. Shorter oil change intervals. In Japan, Toyota's domestic maintenance schedule for naturally aspirated engines calls for oil changes every 15,000 kilometers under normal conditions, but every 7,500 kilometers under what they call severe conditions. Severe conditions include short trips of under 5 miles, frequent cold starts, stop-and-go traffic, dusty roads, extreme temperatures, and frequent full-load driving. Sound familiar? That's basically how every single person in America drives. Toyota knows this, which is why their recommended interval for the Japanese domestic market effectively comes down to around 10,000 kilometers, or roughly 6,200 miles. For turbocharged engines, it gets even more aggressive. Toyota recommends oil changes every 5,000 kilometers, about 3,100 miles under normal conditions. Under severe conditions, that drops to 2,500 kilometers, barely 1,500 miles. Meanwhile, Mitsubishi in Japan recommends 5,000 kilometers or 6 months for all their engines, no exceptions. Compare that to European and American manufacturers pushing 10,000 to 15,000 mile intervals to make ownership costs look lower on paper. That's the marketing talking, not the engineering. Method 2. The shaken inspection system. This is something most people outside Japan have never even heard of, but it is one of the biggest reasons Japanese cars are so well maintained. Shaken is Japan's mandatory vehicle inspection program required by law since 1951. Every vehicle over 250 cubic centimeters must pass this inspection. New cars get their first inspection after 3 years, and after that it is every 2 years. And this is not your typical emissions check or state inspection where they glance at your taillights and wave you through. Shaken is one of the most rigorous vehicle inspections in the world. It covers 60 individual checkpoints. Inspectors examine the engine for oil leaks, check exhaust emissions, test the brakes on rollers, inspect the underside for corrosion, verify alignment, and much more. If your car fails any single point, it cannot legally be driven on public roads until it is fixed and re-inspected. The cost is significant too. A typical Shaken runs between 100,000 and 200,000 yen, roughly $800 to $1,600. This forces Japanese car owners to maintain their vehicles meticulously or face the consequences. Many Japanese owners actually sell their cars before a major Shaken inspection to avoid the expense, which is one reason the Japanese used car market is flooded with incredibly well-maintained, low-mileage vehicles. The system creates a culture where regular, thorough maintenance is not optional. It is the law. And the side effect is engines that stay clean inside because problems get caught and fixed before they snowball into sludge disasters. Method 3. Using the correct oil specification. This sounds basic, but it's where a shocking number of car owners go wrong. Japanese engines are engineered with extremely tight tolerances. Modern Toyota, Honda, and Nissan engines are specifically designed for 0W20 full synthetic oil. This is not a suggestion. It is a requirement. That ultra-thin viscosity ensures the oil flows instantly on cold starts, which is critical because up to 90% of all engine wear happens during those first few seconds when you turn the key. The 0W20 also flows precisely through the tiny passages that feed VVT actuators and hydraulic lifters. Put 5W30 in a 0W20 engine and you're looking at 20% more wear during cold starts, potential VVT actuator failure, which is a $2,800 repair by itself, and significantly increased sludge buildup because the thicker oil does not circulate as efficiently. Hey, before we continue, if you're learning something new, do me a favor and hit that like button. Method 4. Kaizen, the philosophy applied to maintenance. Kaizen means continuous improvement. It is the backbone of Toyota's entire production system, and it has been the driving force behind Japanese automotive quality since the 1950s. After World War II, an engineer named Taiichi Ono was tasked with setting up Toyota's manufacturing. He studied Henry Ford's assembly lines, identified waste, and built a system where every single worker, from the CEO to the factory floor, is responsible for continuously finding and fixing problems. If a worker on Toyota's assembly line spots a potential issue, they can stop the entire production line to address it. That same defect never happens again. This philosophy does not just apply to building cars, it applies to maintaining them. Japanese car owners treat maintenance as a continuous process, not a reactive one. They do not wait for the check engine light to come on. They do not skip oil changes because the car seems fine. They follow the manufacturer's maintenance schedule religiously, use the exact specified fluids, and address small issues before they become catastrophic ones. It is a fundamentally different mindset. In the West, we tend to fix things when they break. In Japan, they prevent things from breaking in the first place. Method 5. PCV system maintenance. This is one of the most overlooked components in any engine, and it is directly tied to sludge formation. The positive crankcase ventilation valve recirculates oil vapors from the crankcase back into the intake to be burned. When a PCV valve gets clogged or fails, pressure builds up inside the crankcase. Oil vapors cannot escape properly. and those vapors condense and contribute directly to sludge formation. Japanese maintenance schedules include PCV valve inspection as part of routine service. Most American drivers have never even heard of a PCV valve, let alone had it checked. It costs $10 to $30 and takes 5 minutes to replace on most engines, yet ignoring it can accelerate sludge buildup dramatically. When Toyota had their major sludge crisis with the 1MZ V6 and 5SFE 4-cylinder engines from 1997 to 2002, one of the production changes they made was modifying the PCV system and the baffles in the valve covers to improve oil vapor circulation. That tells you exactly how important this component is. Method 6. Quality fuel and proper warm-up habits. Low-quality gasoline creates significantly more engine deposits than premium brands. Studies have shown that bargain fuel can produce up to 19 times more engine deposits compared to top-tier gasoline that contains proper detergents and dispersants. Japanese drivers tend to be more conscientious about fuel quality, partly because Japan's fuel standards are among the strictest in the world. Beyond fuel, driving habits matter enormously. Short trips where the engine never fully reaches operating temperature are one of the biggest contributors to sludge. When the engine does not get hot enough, moisture and fuel residues mix with the oil instead of evaporating. This contaminated oil breaks down faster and forms sludge more rapidly. The Japanese approach emphasizes longer drives when possible and avoiding excessive idling. That keeps the engine at an optimal temperature and allows the oil to do its job properly. Method 7. Strategic and gentle engine flushing. This is controversial. Engine flushes can cause damage if done incorrectly. Toyota generally does not recommend engine flushes unless there is evidence of significant sludge buildup. In high-mileage engines that have not been properly maintained, existing sludge can be sealing minor leaks. Flush it out, and suddenly you can get oil leaks and chunks of dislodged sludge clogging the oil pickup screen. Japanese maintenance culture takes a different approach. By maintaining consistently short oil change intervals with high-quality synthetic oil from the very beginning, the oil itself acts as a continuous cleaning agent. The detergent and dispersant additives in quality synthetic oil keep contaminants suspended and prevent them from adhering to engine surfaces. Each oil change removes those suspended contaminants, essentially performing a gentle, ongoing flush with every service. Some Japanese workshops also use mild engine cleaning treatments every 40,000 kilometers as a preventive measure, not as a rescue operation. The key difference is that they flush clean engines to keep them clean, rather than trying to flush severely sludged engines back to health. So here is your actionable takeaway. You do not need to move to Japan to protect your engine. You just need to think like a Japanese car owner. Change your oil every 5,000 miles, not every 7,500 or 10,000 miles the manufacturer's marketing department suggests. Use full synthetic 0W20 or whatever exact viscosity your owner's manual specifies. Never use conventional oil if synthetic is recommended. Check your PCV valve annually and replace it if it is sluggish or clogged. Use top-tier gasoline whenever possible. Avoid frequent short trips when you can, or at minimum, take your car on a longer highway drive once a week to burn off moisture and contaminants. Inspect your engine periodically. Pop the oil cap, shine a flashlight in there. If you see clean, honey-colored metal surfaces, you are in good shape. If you see thick, dark deposits coating everything, you have a problem that needs attention now, not next month. The Japanese have not discovered some magical secret. They have committed to a culture of prevention over reaction. They build their cars to last. They maintain their cars to last. And the results speak for themselves. Toyota, Honda, Nissan. These brands routinely top reliability surveys, not because of luck, but because of a relentless, systematic approach to quality at every level, from the factory floor to your driveway. Engine sludge is a silent killer, but it is also one of the most preventable problems in all of automotive maintenance. A $50 oil change every 5,000 miles is the cheapest insurance policy you will ever buy for a machine that costs you tens of thousands of dollars. Do not learn this lesson the hard way. That is all for today. If you found this useful, smash that like button. It genuinely helps the channel grow. Subscribe and hit the bell if you want more content like this. Drop a comment below and tell me, when was the last time you changed your oil? Be honest. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.